create, inspire, and like we talking about today, workflow optimization, and then we gonna give a couple of takes on maybe why certain artists seem like they don't expand on their sound as much, or they sound so similar when they put out certain stuff for visual artists too.
Yeah, why your stuff should look and sound the same. So it's all in the universe of you.
For workflow optimization, we was gonna start off with some tips. One of them is basically starting off with a plan and organizing with your workflow. Start by setting specific goals and creating a plan for each session. This could include deciding which beats you want to work on, setting a time limit for each beat, and prioritizing tasks based on importance. Now, it's easy to talk about making beats and stuff like that when we talk about like creative workflow, because like it kind of transfer into working on computer programs kind of across the board. So this goes for all artists. And I say my examples of this would be specifically with the creatives that work day jobs and work away from home and don't have like a lot of time to specifically sit and lock in on their creative tasks. You gotta be more meticulous with your planning and know how much time you gonna have to work and how much time it take you to do certain things. So I say, for example, with me, when I'm at work and I got small breaks, I already know, like, if I got more than 20 minutes, I'm going to be able to at least put an idea down. Or I'm going to be able to at least take some notes or gain some more research for what something I could bring to completion once I get home and shit like that. The plan starts mentally before I even, you know what I'm saying, start working on anything. So when I'm hands off, I'm already planning in my mind what how much time I got, what I'm gonna be able to do, and what it's gonna take me to do it. Already kind of having a vision for what you want to do, so that you don't really spend so much time wandering through your idea.
Yeah,
that's how I say.
Yeah, like the whole point of workflow optimization is to not become overwhelmed. It's about creating effective systems. You doing what comes first, what works first. You can experiment later. It's the flow state is what you want to get used to. You know, it's time spent versus the progress. Like, are you spending a lot of time on something and it ain't too much progress being made? Or are you spending about 20 minutes and it's damn near done? You know, it's all about organization and accessibility. And what that can look like, for instance, for a producer, it could look like file management. It could look like sound selection, shortcuts. You know, workflow optimization is the process of streamlining and refining the steps involved in your whole process. So this really is about maximizing your productivity and efficiency so you can have a big output. So you identify what's taking you too long, what's getting in the way of pumping out this in a timely manner. Just eliminating all the unnecessary stuff. So this could look like you setting up presets and templates. Or if you're a painter, having your stuff already set out. Having your brushes already clean from when you worked on the last painting. You know, having a designated workspace. You know, not working on your bed, you know, like in your room.
For real. No, that counts for real, because it's things that go into your psychology, you know what I'm saying, and your body chemistry, that when you sitting up straight, when you in a workspace rather than in somewhere that's comfortable, like being outside of your comfort zone can help you work better in ways that you probably haven't discovered before. Like it's like this quote that come to mind, like Lil Wayne, where he be like, man, they always like, I need a beat, I needed this, I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as to be inspired to create, you know what I'm saying? If that's your job, if that is really, I view creating, inspiring, and enlightening as a large part of my life purpose. So optimizing my workflow is bringing value to myself in ways where it make it easier for me to get through the frustration of wanting to create and have the ideas seen by other people. Presets is a big thing, and templates to where you can just open up your program and jump right in. You know, like it's especially with stuff like Procreate. Like I spent countless minutes watching tutorials on how to just set up the pen with the pressure sensitivity and all of that. But that's bringing value to myself through workflow optimization, because I know what I want it to look like, but how do I get there? It's a lot of little tweaks and stuff I can't be doing when it come down to I'm trying to put this idea out by the time the weekend over.
My client need this in 2 days.
Exactly.
You know, your workflow, that's gonna flow into your professionalism.
Exactly.
So you not telling your clients, oh, my turnaround time is 3 weeks.
Exactly.
When it could just be shortened into a week.
Exactly.
You know, when the initial deposit is sent, 2 days from when the initial deposit is sent.
Exactly.
You gotta optimize your creativity so you can enhance your productivity, and that goes into your output, so you're not reducing your output. And that's not saying to sacrifice your quality. It's just all about saving time. That can go into planning, you prioritizing what to do. Like, okay, I'm gonna work on this, or this is the more important project to work on. It just help avoid wasting like so much time on low priority stuff. You know, like, oh, where is this brush? Where is this cake? Where is this fabric? Like,
exactly.
But the setting up process, which is the workflow, that's gonna eliminate all that.
Exactly. It's a whole process where we streamlining and refining the stuff that's involved with producing the creative work, with the goal of being of maximum productivity. You know what I'm saying? And being efficient with the output that we making, because really time just be going faster and faster, and it's just like we could get lost in our creation to where 15 minutes turn to 3 hours. So going back to the customer satisfaction thing, where you working with a client, they don't understand how much brain power, time and effort, individual talent and inspiration goes in, and skill set, knowledge and skill set just goes into doing something simple. So you could get caught in that whole trap of analysis paralysis, where it turns into procrastination because your workflow isn't optimized for your greatest capability. When I'm thinking about it, it's real hard to fit this creative stuff in to your daily life when you're trying to pay bills. Levels of responsibilities vary between a lot of people. So I believe when I'm speaking from create, inspire, enlighten, we got to fit this in, because the AI really about to take over the whole output as far as the consumer versus creator, like you was talking about yesterday.
That's another thing that can help with your workflow is the AI.
For real.
Putting your image into Mid-Journey, whatever, and it gives you...
That goes into tools and technology.
Yeah. It gives you a few more variations, or it cuts down your long form content. You know, certain websites that do that, you know, so you don't have to do it manually. You know, just little stuff like that. Also, like having feedback works with your workflow. A second ear or a second eye, second pair of eyes. Because like you said, 15 minutes can turn into 3 hours. We can get desensitized. You listen to that same 8-bar loop for about 20 minutes.
Motherfucker get hypnotized. Like, god damn, hold on.
You getting sucked into it, you know.
Yeah.
To the point where you like, man, this shit off key, man, this shit off beat. You looking at the painting, you zoomed in on the painting. You know, you ain't even take a step back from it. That's something we learned in school. I don't know, like Mr. K class, that was something he taught us. He was like, step back from the painting, from the drawing, cause you in it like this. You know, you so leaned into it. So step back. Then you see like, oh, okay. You less sensitized, less desensitized to it.
For real.
So the feedback goes into that because somebody else, they're like, nah, bro, that shit hard. You're like, all right, I don't need to change this. I don't need to change that. You know, the beat is on beat. The painting is on grid. Stuff like that.
I feel like feedback and stuff like that, it help you get rid of that imposter syndrome. Like a lot of us, we know what we doing. We done it before. But for some reason, while you doing it, it don't feel like it's right for some reason.
Right.
And I feel like feedback and, you know what I'm saying, getting a different perspective and even a fresh set of eyes and ears, take a day and come back to it. Or, you know what I'm saying, start on something new and then try to forget all about it. You know what I'm saying? And then when you come back, you'll see, oh, hold on. This actually do look right. This is, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you show other people that don't do the same thing as you, or people that everybody gonna see it in a different way as you.
Definitely.
So that's one of the highest, you know, what would you say? I say it's like a power up, an increase on your workflow.
Yeah.
When you show somebody that you trust, you know what I'm saying, in the early stages, that would give you honest feedback or even additional input.
Yeah.
And that could help you finish your projects even faster.
Yeah. It's a thin line because, man, it seems like no matter what you say to certain creatives, like, they gonna be insecure, you know? Like,
yeah,
sometimes you can't override people's little negative voice in their head, you know, whatever. You can't override people's analysis paralysis, stuff like that. But
hey, I take that personally, bro. I'm gonna take that one on the chin, bro.
no, because it's like, you'll be like, no, that's hard, and you know, they still thinking like, no, I gotta go change this, when that time could have just been spent for something else, another creation.
No, for real. I relate to that majorly, and I want to try to encourage, even doing stuff like this, I want to try to encourage creatives like, man, show your work, show your process, open up your followers to your world of creativity, because believe it or not, it might seem like the whole world of creatives and art and media and stuff like that is so small and so condensed, but really we is part of a small percentage of people that can actually flesh out our ideas and inspire other people. We could change people's lives. We could help people quit drugs. We could help people not commit suicide. We could help people come up with business ideas to change their family life and their own life. So it's like, at the end of the day, it's a bigger picture to this whole thing. And if we get locked up in our ego and our perception of how people may judge us, or what it is it I say like trendy or not, or is it on, you know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to describe it right now. But
like, is it trendy? Is they gonna fuck with this? Is this too me? You know? Yeah.
I feel like a big part is motherfuckers get wrapped up in that one thing when really niggas need to be trying to put out 100 of those things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I've been telling myself lately. On top of the, you know what I'm saying, working with imposter syndrome, like getting over the fact, like, bro, it's good. Just put it out, because once you start putting stuff out, that's the only way for somebody to judge it. Nobody could judge you off one song. Nobody could judge you off 5 pictures. I'm not a 50, like, for real, because if you look at it, it take an average artist like more than 70 songs, make more than 70 songs to even get noticed. So it's like, at the end of the day, if we not following our creative passions for ourselves and the betterment of the world around us first, then we gonna always get caught up in that. Oh man, I need to, cause we think about what somebody else then did.
Yeah.
When we're trying to bring something that nobody has done before.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I feel like that's a good transition into the next topic of why your stuff should look and or sound the same. So it's all in the universe of you. So it's important to have a variation of stuff, you know, of your output of the stuff you make. But when you got that consistent style or sound, it's all you. Like, it's undeniably you. It's all in the universe of you. Like I said in my live stream yesterday, like, people, well, your audience they kind of got to know what they getting into when you release something, you know. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because this goes into your brand recognition. If you got a consistent look or sound, it establishes your brand and it makes it recognizable in the saturation, the perceived saturation. I say that, the perceived saturation.
It's perceived for sure. Cause songs and stuff is only 2 minutes.
And it's enough fans for everybody. It's enough engagement out here for everybody. It's enough money out here for everybody. Having that consistent look or sound, whatever it may be, that's what's gonna build value in having your following getting hooked onto you. Cause it's cohesive. Like, it's a cohesive identity of your creative work.
So basically, when you have a consistent style or sound, it could be easier and faster to produce content because you already have a template to work from. This can be helpful when working on larger projects or tight deadlines. To give an example, it is even going back to the feedback. Like, say you make your first project or you make your first batch of projects and you show it to some people or you post it online, you get some feedback. Now you know what people like and what they not really resonating with or leaning towards. That's your marketing. That's literally your product design is going into what people like about you. Because at the end of the day, us as creators, we not only got to sell our product and our art, but we got to sell our personality and ourselves to an extent. Going back to you when you was talking about your social side to your creative brand.
Yeah.
So having a consistent style or sound can help you to focus on the content of your work rather than getting bogged down in the details of design or production, like those mundane things, like just the little tweaks and shit and the little you trying to make shit perfect. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Down to the decibel.
Yeah. For real, because when you working on something that require a lot of attention or a lot of work or man hours, you don't want to be getting bogged down with all of these extra things. So you want to overall be efficient. Going back to providing value to yourself by optimizing your workflow, what works best for you, because you might watch a cook-up video or you might watch a time lapse or you might watch a tutorial of a certain thing, but certain thing you gotta take, certain shit you gotta leave, because that's them, that's how they do it. And I know me personally, when I listen to a song versus another person listen to a song, they might hear different parts of it. So it's like that give me a perspective even there, like, all right, put that shit out so that it could do what it's supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
it ain't gonna do nothing if it's just sitting on your hard drive. Even when you're like watching a cook-up video, a time lapse, whatever. Yes, that's what they doing. But you gotta use them as a learning tool. Like we always say, using the other people you see as learning tools, and that they're not above you. You know, you watching a Rio Leva cook-up video, that's like, oh, okay, this is how he exporting his sound. This is how he do his file management as a producer. You know, so it's just optimizing it to where what works for you and it's protecting your work.
But like, if you found something that worked for you, and it's gonna hit. Keep hitting it till it's time to, you know what I'm saying, evolve. You know what I'm saying, and hit that next step.
Yeah. And it emphasizes your strengths. Some examples of this would be Certified Trapper. He emphasizes his strengths. One of his strengths is bass work and bounce. Sheefy McFly. He emphasizes his strengths with the use of color. Popping colors. You know, just to kind of put in perspective. Yeah. It emphasizes your strengths and your perspective. So when you're establishing yourself, you know, as a person with expertise in your field, or even seeking new opportunities. Like if you're an artist and you're in a group show, you know, your opinion is going to stand out. If you're a rapper performing at an open mic and you got your own sound, you got the slot to perform 4 songs and they got a consistent sound that's you didn't establish yourself out of that whole, everybody on that lineup, everybody on that flyer, whatever. Also, it builds trust. So when somebody looks on your website, your page, and they see, oh, this is his individual flair. You know, this they individual flair, this they individual sound. And that goes into they knowing what they getting into. And just each piece of content is just building on that trust and on that initial thing that got them hooked.
Hey, I'm gonna put it like this real quick. I look at like a motherfucking bag of Skittles or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how Skittles got like 5 different flavors?
Right.
But it's different kind of Skittles. So it's like sour Skittles, tropical Skittles, the purple Skittles, the zombie Skittles, all of that. So basically, a bag of Skittles would be like your body of work. And each flavor, it's still gonna taste like a Skittle, but it's gonna be a little bit different. Cause little do motherfucker know that's probably all the same flavor. It's probably only a little different. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it like that, because it's like if a new flavor pack come out, you already know, or like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, or some shit, or like a Pokemon card, like a new pack come out, you already know the shit gonna go down in history. The Pokemon cards is gonna be worth 50 bands at the very least. One of these bitches, first edition, whatever. But you already know, it's not like it's some new a new kind of Digimon shit that came out. You don't know what's going on, motherfucker. Like, it's called something different. It looked different. Yeah. It's a whole different thing. Like, nah, we don't have no trust in this image. We don't have no trust in this vibe, because we don't know what to expect every time. Yeah. But I feel like for something that helped me is putting a number in my head. Like, I want to do this many repetitions until I can judge myself on if it's working or not. You know what I'm saying? To keep me from stumbling over these little hurdles of being self-conscious and, you know what I'm saying, having the imposter syndrome and procrastination about stuff. I'm like, all right, if I ain't did it 25, 50 times, then I don't even know. I don't even know if it's gonna work yet. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna know if you work until you try it.
Right. For real. And that's the only way to beat failure, is to at least fucking try. Cause shit, you experiencing something is not the same thing as you giving other people a chance to experience it.
Give them that chance.
And you giving yourself a chance to be discovered and found. And like somebody be inspired by you, somebody buy into your story, somebody believe in what you saying and they understand.
Having that consistent style, that's gonna establish like them long-term relationships and people who fans of your work, because you just keep building on that. It can be an initial like artistic choice of yours to like have that consistent style or sound. You know, when you focus on this, what mood are you putting off, you know? Like, what mood are you putting off from your paintings or your beats? Are you known for dark trap beats? Are you known for colorful, happy looking paintings, you know? So that's another thing to think about when making your own style. Your mood and the atmosphere. I believe that's a brand term also, atmosphere, when it comes to branding. You know, your mood and your atmosphere is going to communicate your message. So you are memorable, because you want to be memorable. At the end of the day, you want to be memorable. If you're showcasing something and all pieces of content, they're like way off and super different from each other,
they don't know what to expect because you're not really being intentional.
Yeah. Or you might just try to experiment with something that's not a strength of yours. That goes into playing on your strengths. Playing on your strengths can add to your own flair, your own initial style. I believe some great examples of having a consistent sound or style, like I said, Certified Trapper, Sheefy McFly, Basquiat, Yeet.
It's consistent and it still got variation too. Like even with the Atlanta sound and with the down south sound, like it's ways to move within a certain, you know what I'm saying, realm of style. And still let it be authentically, undeniably you. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, oh damn, this sound like something, because the human mind only can make connections with something that it already know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be somewhat similar and somewhat different, no matter what you're doing. Just like with a new shoe or a new car that may come out. Good examples, I say consistent sound and shit is like Money Man. He got a consistent ass sound because he playing to his strengths of, you know what I'm saying, a rhythm melody. You know what I'm saying, rapping in a certain pocket. People might say that certain people sound similar to certain other artists, but that's only because it's a genre. You know,
they have similar strengths.
Exactly, very similar. And shoot, I say shit. Even people like Soulja Boy and shit, like whether it's flow, beats, even Chief Keef, like that makes you a staple. That make you a staple within your category by being consistent and being you at the same time. Because at the end of the day, all these producers work with each other. A lot of artists collab. A lot of people worked on stuff that you would never even know. But it's recognizable. They built trust within their brand. They optimized their workflow so they could do it 1,000 times.
Yup. Got their formula down. At the end of the day, you want to have your formula down, so you're not just taking in people who got their formula down and capitalized off of it, and you just sitting like, man, niggas sleeping on me. Capitalize off your formula.
Definitely. Hey, happy birthday, Firstborn. Sex, Shrooms, and Saturn on all streaming platforms ASAP.
Out now. Firstborn Art on all streaming platforms. Create, Inspire, and Lighten. Firstborn Art. Creative accountability.
Oh God, shout out on God. Hey, createinspire.com. CREA, the letter NSPIRE.com. That's my website.